of Rutendo Matinyarare saying to Wicknell Chivayo is the biggest gold dealer in Zimbabwe might have angered Wicknell Chivayo to respond. He also says Rutendo Matinyarare is bitter because he was not paid money. And you know what, Rutendo Matinyarare does not leave issues lying idly. In fact, yesterday he punched back at Will. I thought that I was tired by the time I saw the story, but I said I will do it the following day in my own way. You know, this helps us to understand more because when people who have worked together in an organization begins to actually fight, in the process they expose very necessary information which will give people an insight how this country is run and how this country is operated. And if you have got that insight, it becomes actually easier for you to tackle the problems politically. You will know that this strategy will not work with these groups of people, and this strategy may actually work. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch. So let's hear Rutendo making this presentation.
So I woke up this morning with a number of people sending me a video made by Wicknell Chivayo in which he's mentioning my name. And he's mentioning my name saying that he's got issues with me. My question is, my Wicknell, can I go in a problem? Why did we have inbox? Anyway, let's hear what Wicknell with me about.
Rutendo Matinyarare, and the next as I'm the biggest gold dealer in I'm stupid to know that. I've got a data Mariga as the head of the sanctions. I'm much up 100 million government. A patriotic and all genuine way. And also I'm sure the KT have to put them as
According to the video, Wicknell has got two issues with me. He says, first of all, I say that he's the biggest gold dealer in the country. And number two, he says that I'm bitter that the president did not pay me $100 million for removing sanctions of Zimbabwe. So I'm attacking him and I'm attacking Kuda Takwiri. Here's the truth of the matter. I don't really have a problem with the fact that the government of Zimbabwe has not yet paid me for removing sanctions on Zimbabwe. Because I know that the whole world saw me launch a campaign against sanctions, get sanctions successfully removed of Zimbabwe. And so at some point, the Zimbabwean government will have to pay me for work that I did and everybody saw me doing. Wicknell knows that. All the people that are trying to use this payment issue against me know that I have no issue with the issue of payment. But they want to sully my reputation because I am refusing for the president of Zimbabwe to amend the constitution, to violate human rights in order for him to
prolong his stay in power. Let's wait, it's the network that is actually giving me problems.
His stay in power without
a
referendum. Over and above that, Wicknell is not happy that I wrote 3 articles this week in which I was saying that I do not support the president extending his term in office because he has robbed the country of gold revenue by allowing private individuals to fly our gold out of the country with their private jets instead of getting an institution of the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe known as Fidelity Printers and Refineries to refine our gold and export our gold out of the country to ensure that we have a return of our royalties, a return of our taxes, and that all payments for that gold is given to the bank, and then 30% of it is paid to the in local currency so that our Reserve Bank can begin to grow its foreign currency reserves. So in one of my articles, I mentioned the fact that there is a businessman who has a private jet who's become the biggest gold dealer in the country who is transporting the gold of the president. I didn't mention a name, I didn't mention a race, I didn't say anything about this person, but today Wicknell has decided to go to the door and to take a jacket that is hanging on and to wear it. If the jacket fits, and if you've taken it, maybe it's yours. Then, of course, everybody knows that Wicknell Chivayo's brother was arrested at O.R. Tambo International Airport with 12 kgs of gold that he was trying to smuggle into South Africa. And newspaper articles have all claimed that that gold belonged to Wicknell, who is a runner for the president of Zimbabwe.
Quite interesting.
Wicknell has never refuted that. The president has never refuted that. So that information is in the public domain, and it's fair comment to talk about it. Then, of course, there's Themba Mliswa, a former MP, a relative of the president, and the spokesperson of the president's campaign to extend his term. We had a meeting with him a month and a half ago with some business people from South Africa, and he took us through intricate details of how Wicknell Chivayo is the biggest gold dealer in the country who is moving the president's gold. Then the wife of Wicknell Chivayo has opened a case in Pretoria of fraud, in which she also outlined some of these issues, but she's complaining to the Prosecution Authority of South Africa that that case is being stalled because Wicknell Chivayo is paying bribes. Then on the issue of sanctions, Wicknell, you sit on the parallel cabinet of the president. You know that I got a mandate from the president, his advisor, and also his ambassador in South Africa to fight sanctions. Hence, you saw us going to court against the banks of South Africa, Joe Biden. You saw us calling the UN Human Rights Council, who declared the sanctions illegal. Hence, South Africa began to support us in our fight against sanctions. You saw me bring the US Congress to do an impact assessment that brought up a report that asked Biden to remove those sanctions. The work I've done in the fight against sanctions is more than you will ever do for Zimbabwe. So why shouldn't I get paid? You're taking gold to Switzerland now because people like me removed sanctions. The president. So I woke up this morning.
So, okay, that is you heard the voice of Wicknell Chivayo, as well as also the voice of Rutendo Matinyarare. I actually took it from his account. Now, what he is revealing here is that, Wicknell Chivayo, I've always predicted this on my live broadcast that you see these stories that are transported by Wicknell Chivayo in Dubai wearing church material, white church material. These people are runners. They are transporting gold on behalf of the regime. And you see them looking very smart. We are told they are taken to a trip in Dubai and they go with this private jet of Wicknell Chivayo. I think, was it last night, he actually announced that he has procured also another private jet. A Zimbabwean procuring a private jet. And do you know any business that is done by Wicknell Chivayo? There is absolutely no business that is actually run by Wicknell Chivayo. There is no business that is known, that is run or masterminded by Wicknell Chivayo, except he wins tenders, except he actually is moving around with that particular plane, and one would ask himself this question: where does he get the money to be doing what he is doing? It's quite simple. This is a runner for the president, and he parades money like, that money that he gives to people, he gives it like anybody's. He just, wake up in the morning announcing, gifting people, gifting institutions, millions of US dollars. We've seen very successful business people around the world with more billions than any other person could imagine. They don't do this. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Okanqube Mhlabane is signing out. Let me love